Alright, so here's my tires. These are Michelin on my Miata. These are the Michelin, what is it? There he is. Pilot Sport 4S, so the 4S tires. So I had these tires put in around 9,000 miles, maybe a little bit over 9,000 miles. And now it's 14, what was it, 14 and 14,300. So basically about 5,000 miles later. So let's look at it. Look at the wear basically. So let's look up here at the wear bars. So there's a little bit of life left on this side. The inside's actually a little bit more worn out right there in the middle. Well, this side's a little bit more worn out than this side is. And this side's actually newer than here. So this one is actually newer than this one is. So this is the most worn, second, third, and last bar here is, so there's still life left. So basically the outside's not as worn. And actually, you actually see, looking at the dirt on this tire. You see there's actually like a dirt line right here. It's kind of distinct right here, right? So basically this, this last, what is it, inch and a half or so on the outside doesn't get as used, at least going in a straight line. So that's the reason why the outside is less worn. That also has to do with the, or the reason why that is it has to do with the alignment. And my alignment is actually not that aggressive. I have I guess what they call a performance alignment, but it's not actually that aggressive. So at least my numbers show it's not as aggressive, and I drive this car pretty aggressively. But I do have the sway bars and the Megan sway bars and the Olin's coilovers. So it rides pretty flat. It rides pretty flat. I mean, there's other people out there that are using much firmer spring rates than I'm using, and also much firmer sway bars than I'm using. So both my sway bars and my coilovers or springs on the coilovers are pretty mild compared to a lot of other folks. And my alignment is actually pretty mild too. It's not that the camber is not that much. But you can see, and considering how many miles I got out of this tire, basically I have about 5,000 miles on these tires, and they're right almost at the wear bar indicator. So by the time that I get 6,000 miles, I think I would definitely pass these three, and I will probably be right at the edge of this one. So basically just about done with this tire. So basically for me, for my car and my road conditions and my driving style, the Michelin S4s are basically 6,000 mile tires. So which is not that much. So yeah. So how have these tires been? How their performance is? They've been fantastic. They're like, for this, this is a 215. So 215 size. They've performed pretty much perfectly for this car and my suspension setup, and what the mountains and the canyons that I drive. So I really like them. The only negative thing about them I could think of is basically the price, and maybe it could last a little bit longer. But this is a summer summer tire. Thread wear is, I think the thread wear was 300 if I can remember right. These tires, in that same category of tires, they all basically wear about this this rate, or even actually might be even sooner than this one does. Looking at other thread wears are like 280, 240, 260 or whatever. So this is one of the higher thread wear rated tires, but it's still, I still wore out pretty quickly. But yeah, so they've been fantastic. They're lighter. Michelins tend to be lighter than other tires, but also they ride they have a better, you know, a higher quality ride. It's more comfortable. It's you know, it's the thing with Michelin is that, you know, they're very premium tires. They have all the pros of everything, you know, lighter, more comfortable, etc., performance, all this stuff. But you know, you do have to pay the price for it, right? You pay for that Michelin quality. So they are kind of expensive. So new tires are like, these ones cost me I got these on sale last year around the same time for about, I think around $700 or something like that. 700-ish bucks installed. So that's the reason why I'm not going to go with these again, because of the cost and how fast I wore them out. You know, if I use some other tire, same summer rating type of class, you know, same within the same category, I'll probably wear them out all about the same, you know. So I don't see myself spending that much money on something that doesn't last as long as I would like it to. But it is, you know, it is what it is. There's a price to performance. So I'm going with basically lower cost tires, and they probably won't perform as well, or they might not be as noisy, or you know, as quiet. They might be heavier, etc., etc. But yeah, you know, if I had like deep pockets, I would always stick with this tire. The OEM tire compared to this is like, this is like way better than the OEM tires. The OEM tires didn't last very long either, and they just weren't very grippy. They got kind of greasy basically. When I push it hard, those tires actually got greasy. These ones, they always perform, no matter how hard I pushed it. They always had good traction. Never got sketchy on me. Always predictable and such. But anyways, so yeah. So one thing I might adjust is, actually I might leave the alignment alone. But I was thinking about actually making the alignment even less aggressive, and you know, more and more like stock. I don't know what the exact number it is, because I've actually changed the ride height. I changed the ride height since I had the alignment. You know, the ride height from center of the wheel to the fender here. Originally, when I got this alignment that I'm on right now, the height, my center to fender height was about 13 3/4, I think it was, or maybe 13 and a half. No, a little bit more than 13 and a half. I think it was like 13 3/4. So that's about an inch or so, or 3/4 of an inch less than stock. Because stock is, if I can remember right, was about 14 and a half inches. So I actually raised this thing up to 14 inches. So I raised it up a little bit, so the alignment number should not be as aggressive. You know, at least the camber anyways, it shouldn't be as aggressive as what it was. So when I had this aligned, when I had this tire first put in, I had the alignment at for the camber anyways, the front was 1.5 in negative, and the back was 1 degrees in. So because I raised it up a little bit, it's probably gonna be less than that. It's probably gonna be like, I don't know, maybe the front now is like I guess maybe 1.4 or something like that, and the back maybe is, you know, 0.9, maybe 0.8, and this maybe this is 1.3, something like that. I mean, I don't really know, because I didn't raise it up that much. I only raised it up about a 1/4 inch, so probably 1.4 and 1.9, I think. So probably not that much. So I might even make it less aggressive than that. Maybe I might go to well, I mean, I won't know until, you know, if I do another alignment. I have to check what these numbers are. I might make it less aggressive, so the way it wears more even, more flat, like stock. Even with the stock alignment numbers, when I had the stock setup, it showed the same result too, with the outside actually wearing less than the inside. The inside was actually more worn, so it showed that camber. So I might get it very close to stock again, because it seems, you know, as far as tire wear, it seems fine. You know, as far as performance, you know, steering quickness and stuff like that, it might be a little bit, it might not be as good, but you know, this is a street gearing car. I don't do any track, I don't do autocross, I don't do nothing like that. I just driving the streets in the mountains only. And I want my tire to last as long as possible, because for these tires, $700 every 6,000 miles, that's a lot of money. That's more money than motorcycle tires. Jeez, when I bought this car, I was thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna be saving money, because I was going through motorcycle tires pretty fast. My last motorcycle, my XSR 900, that bike was eating up tires pretty fast too. I was going through high mileage tires in the bike at about 3,500 miles. I was using Michelin Road series tires, Road 2, Road 3, Road 4, Road 5s. The last tires I had on there was Road 5s, and they only lasted 3,500 miles. And prior to that, I had Road 2s, and same result. No, so and those tires, if you know motorcycles, you know that they are very long lasting. In other bikes that I had, those tires always lasted me at least 8,000 to 9,000 miles. But that last bike, it only lasted me 3,500 miles, partly because of that bike. It's a very every time I rode that bike, I was always aggressive with it. Same thing with this car. Whenever I drive with it, I was very, very aggressive with it. That's why I'm wearing tires out so fast. But anyways, as far as cost goes, for that bike, riding on those road 5 tires, that was like, how much was those things? Those things were probably costing me about $300 for the front and rear. And the rear tire would last 3,500 miles. The front would last a little bit longer, probably like 4,500 miles. And if you actually look at the numbers, it actually lasts. It's actually cheaper than these Michelins. Those Michelins on my motorcycle is actually cheaper than these Michelins for the same mileage. So when I bought this car, I was thinking, oh yeah, a car will be like lower cost per mile as far as use goes, but so far it hasn't turned out that way. It's cost wise, it's been more expensive. The insurance on this car is actually more expensive than my motorcycle is. The consumables, tires are more expensive. Brakes, my brakes. So I'm at a little bit over 14,000 miles, and my brakes has been squeaking since around 13,500 miles. Or at least my front brakes, anyways. So that needs to be changed soon. My motorcycles, man, I don't wear out motorcycle brakes very fast. I've never had to replace brake pads on a big motorcycle before. I mean, the longest mileage, the highest mileage large motorcycle I had was I put 50,000 miles on it, and when I sold that thing at 50,000 miles, the back brake was brand new, the front brake was about half life, so it had plenty of life left. Only motorcycle, two-wheelers that I ever had to change brake pads on was my scooter. That's basically my daily commuter, and that thing lasts like those ones probably only last about 10 or 15,000 miles. Probably like, it's really dependent. The first set was lasting me 25,000 miles, but the latest couple the few last ones only lasted me about 10,000 miles. But anyways, moving off subject here, the point is the cost of ownership, as far as consumables and such goes. The car is more expensive. Even the a low cost car like a Miata, I mean, essentially it's Mazda, right? Mazda's not expensive, relatively speaking, for cars, and still the cost of ownership is been definitely more than a motorcycle, and it's not quite as fun as a motorcycle. Motorcycle is still funner than the car, but it's still pretty fun though. It's funner than most motorcycles. Maybe like the motorcycle that's funner than this car would be like small light motorcycles, just like this is a small light car. Big motorcycle is not as fun as this car is, but yeah. So that's that. So that's basically sort of an update on this car. As far as other things, what I would be doing, whatever. I don't think I'm gonna do much anymore to this car. It's about as much as I'm gonna do. I'm still considering doing a roll cage. You know, the back roll cage. If I were to put in one, I would put in the Blackbird roll cage. But you know, I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. So that's still probably the only thing I have left that I would probably do with this car, because I'm pretty much about done with it. Only a few little minor things here and there. You know, so if I had this car for what, almost a year and a half now, done almost everything I wanted to do with it to get it to how I wanted to you know, to feel, to experience the rider experience, user experience. Yeah, I can't think of too many other things. Yeah, so that's the car right now, as it is, and my riding, you know, my driving style, and you know, use wise. Well, you know, what I've done with it, and you see now if you see my Mazda Miata videos, you know what I've done with it. You know, you know the stuff, the various stuff that I've tried and you know, we tried and liked or didn't like, and you know, took it off and tried something else and such. So yeah, so this car's been fun. Hopefully I will probably keep this car pretty much forever, I think. I mean, unless Mazda comes out with the NE Miata, and that's if it's better than this, if it's, you know, if they keep the same philosophy of being light and all that stuff, then possibly I might get that one. But for the foreseeable future, I'm gonna, you know, for at least for the time being, anyways, this is pretty much my my forever car that I'm gonna keep forever until, you know, I will have other cars too, but you know, I will always have this one. This will always be my fun car, and you know, other cars will be for practical reasons. Yeah, so I'm gonna basically drive this thing until the wheels fall off, essentially. Or the plan is probably get maybe get at least 200,000 miles on this thing, if not 300,000 miles. It'll do 300,000 miles for sure, but you know, I drive less than 10,000 miles a year, so that's 200,000 miles. That's basically 20 years. So yeah, so this is, you know, a long-term car for me. Again, that's dependent on if Mazda is gonna come out with a fun driving next generation Miata. If not, you know, if history shows, as the Miata compared to the first Miata to the last Miata, it just got bigger and heavier. This one, they actually went down in weight, and they went back to the philosophy of the first one. So if they kept that same philosophy, potentially I could get, you know, when in a few more years, when the next one comes out, the next model comes out, that could be my new one. But for now, I don't see it happening. Yeah, so this thing's been fun. Okay, I've been ranting on for almost 20 minutes now. So that's the update on the Miata. Yeah, okay, thanks for watching.